Today I will recap a 2008 Thai horror film named Coming Soon. Two projectionists discover a disturbing film featuring the lynching of a woman. Not only are they troubled by the content of the movie, but strange events befall them following the viewing. Kindly remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you liked the video. At the beginning of the movie, we see a little girl Pang waking up from her sleep. Then she gets scared, sees a dead body lying next to her and starts looking around the room. Seeing all this, she starts crying and tries to open the rope tied to her hand. Just then she hears some sound and then a lady opens the door and enters the room with one leg broken. She starts looking for that girl, but that girl was hidden inside a cupboard. Now as soon as that lady is about to leave, her eyes fall on that cupboard and she starts moving toward it, and as she is about to open the door, Pang pushes her down and tries to flee. But that lady grabs her feet and attacks her with a knife. But she accidentally stabs the knife into her own hand. Then Pang starts running from there and tries to get out through a broken door. She almost gets out from there, but the lady drags her back inside. Now when she regains consciousness, she is tied to a chair. She starts trying to free herself, but then she hears some sound and sees that lady combing her hair. Then she sees that besides her there were some other children whose eyes were removed by that woman. Seeing this, she gets very scared and starts screaming loudly. Then after some time, some people come to that house looking for the children, and from their talks, it is revealed that the name of that woman is 𝐀𝐄𝐒. Then a man finds some footsteps marks there, and we see that 𝐀𝐄𝐒 has closed Pang's mouth with her hand and she is about to attack her. But then those people come there and start beating her, and a woman cuts her face with the same knife. But then the man sees that 𝐀𝐄𝐒 had taken out Pang's eyes before they came there. Seeing this, he gets very angry, and together they put a rope around 𝐀𝐄𝐒's neck and hang her there. 𝐀𝐄𝐒 tries hard to escape, and then we see that it was actually a movie some crew members were watching at the premiere. One of the girls comes out of the theater and goes to a man named To, the director of the film. She asks him if he doesn't want to watch his work, on which he says that he had watched it once last night. But he is not happy with his work and says that he will edit the scene in which 𝐀𝐄𝐒 was hanged. Now the scene again shifts to the theater where Pang is screaming in fear. Her dad comes to her and Pang says that 𝐀𝐄𝐒 is here. He tries to calm her down, and only then does an armoire gets opened. And when that man looks back, 𝐀𝐄𝐒 is sitting inside it. Here outside, the girl sees 𝐀𝐄𝐒 and follows her to an empty theater where their movie starts playing on the screen. She thinks that To is doing this and he is hiding somewhere there. Then the same scene starts playing on the screen in which 𝐀𝐄𝐒 was being hanged. The girl starts running away from there in fear. But then after hearing some sound, he stops and sees that there is really someone hanging in the theater whose shadow is falling on the screen. Now when she looks back in fear, 𝐀𝐄𝐒 is really hanging over there. After which we hear the girl scream. Next, we see Shane, who works as a projectionist in the theater. Just then one of his co-workers comes there who sees a reel of a ghost movie to be released next week, and asks him where did he get it from. He asks him if this movie is scary, to which he says that he does not know because he does not like horror movies. The name of this movie is Revengeful Spirit. Then Yod comes over there and we see that they were planning to leak the movie before its release. Then Yod gives him his share of money and leaves from there with the reels. After this, we see Shane with a girl named Sam. Then Yod comes over there and Shane tries to tell him that today is Sam's birthday. Now Sam is going to the corridor when she hears some sound. She looks back, but there is no one there. But as she looks in front, he sees 𝐀𝐄𝐒 that was hanging there. Then suddenly the lights start turning off and 𝐀𝐄𝐒 starts moving towards her, due to which she gets very scared and starts running from there. She comes running to the staff room, but its door was closed, and then all the lights there turn off, making it completely dark. As soon as the door opens, she punches Yod, who was standing with the cake. It was not actually 𝐀𝐄𝐒's ghost but a cutout, and they wanted to give her a birthday surprise. Then they all go to a bar to celebrate Sam's birthday, and here we come to know that Yod is Sam's brother. After this, Sam leaves there and Yod asks Shane to accompany her. Then Shane goes to her, and here we can see that Sam is angry with him over something. He tries to talk to her, but then a taxi comes and Sam leaves from there. Then we see Shane back in the theater where Yod asks him to play the movie, and we see Yod recording the movie on a camera so that he can make copies of it. Here Shane is sitting in the cabin watching a bill, and then we see a flashback in which Shane is stealing a watch from Sam's bag. But Sam sees him doing this, and here we come to know that Shane used to be a drug addict. And that day he had also hit Sam, and that is why Sam does not talk to him anymore. Now Shane was very sad thinking all this and falls asleep there. And when he woke up it was morning. When he looks from above, he does not see Yod there. So he comes down to the theater and starts looking for him. There he finds Yod's camera lying there and he starts checking it. But then Som comes there and tells him that yesterday Yod returned the wrong prints. Everyone is looking for it because they think that the film will be pirated. Then she leaves there and Shane comes to a room with the camera. Now he checks the camera there and starts backing the recording. Here he sees that after a scene the camera had fallen down. After which the Yod appears, who was very much scared of someone, and then his screams are heard. Then one of his co-workers comes there and tells him that the team on which he invested the money has won. Shane asks him to go and collect his winnings. Now after his shift, Shane goes to Yod's house but he does not open the door. He sees that the door is open, so he comes inside. Here he notices some footprints and sees that those marks were coming from inside the almirah. He opens the almirah in fear but there is no one inside it. Then he was leaving from there when two men come and ask him about Yod. These were actually the same people who gave them money to pirate the movie. Now Shane starts making excuses here and says that he will return their money. On which a man says that he does not want money but a copy of the movie, and that too before the release of the movie. Now Shane goes back to the theater and starts copying the movie himself. In the movie, Ping's dad comes to her room looking for her, and sees the same footprints in the room as Shane saw at Yod's house. Now Shane is quite shocked to see this because those marks were also going towards the almirah. Then he calls Yod but he hears the sound of his phone coming from the theater itself. Now he starts searching for his phone inside the theater and is surprised to see that Yod is lying in the movie, with his eyes gouged and his phone is ringing there. Then Shane comes out from there and he is going into the corridor thinking about this when Chaba passes behind him. And when he looks back, he sees her feet. This frightens him a lot, and he runs into the parking of the theater. But then he feels as if someone has come after him. Then he fixes his bag. But it is Chaba's hand and we see that instead of the bag, the Chaba is hanging on his back. Then he comes home where he is very upset and only then does he hear some sound from behind. When he listens carefully, there is a sound coming from the bathroom. When he goes there he sees footprints and then he sees behind the screen Chaba who is combing her hair. Now when he removes the screen in fear there is no one there. But when he sees the comb, there is hair in it, which he gets very scared to see. Now the next day when he goes to the theater, he sees the poster of the movie which says that it's based on a horrifying true story. Seeing this, he gets shocked. After this, he again watches the recording of the camera and after seeing it again and again, he sees Chaba in one frame, which makes him very worried. Then when he looks out of his cabin window, he sees a Chaba in the theater. Then he goes to the theater and starts moving towards that seat. But that seat is empty. Now he starts watching the movie by sitting there. But only then a seat is moved and when he looks there in fear, there are two dwarfs sitting there. Meanwhile, Som is noticing him and she follows him where she finds his camera and sees the recording in it. She thinks that he has copied the movie for drugs and asks if Yod is also involved in it. On which he tells her that Yod is dead. He says that there is something in the movie and he thinks that the ghost in the movie is for real. He shows her footage of Yod and tells her that he saw Yod's corpse in the movie last night when he was recording alone. But Som could not believe his words. Then he says that since he has seen this movie, he is seeing her everywhere. He stops her to watch the movie or else she will end up like him. But Som gets angry and leaves from there. After this, Shane is sitting in the theater when his co-worker comes there and gives him a bag that he asked him to bring, and in it was Som's watch. Only then the watch falls from his hand, and we see that Chaba is sitting next to him, seeing which he gets very scared and starts running from there. Then suddenly she comes in front of him and holds her jaw and tears it. He runs back screaming and comes in the lift, but the lift also stops. Then he notices that Chaba is hanging behind him and he starts shouting for help. And as soon as the door of the lift opens, Chaba attacks him from the front, causing him to fall back inside the lift. Then when the guard opens the lift, Shane is lying inside and he is having a stroke. Now Som was feeling that maybe this is happening due to a drug overdose, but her friend tells her that he had stopped taking drugs after the breakup. Later Som searches about Revengeful Spirit movie, in which she comes to know that the production crew of this movie fell under the curse. She also finds out about Chaba, who captured the children 30 years ago and gauged their eyes, believing them to be her own. The villagers found her house and subsequently hung her. Later Som tells Shane that whatever he told her about the movie, she searched the internet about it and it was exactly as he told her. She asks him what happens at the end of the movie, on which Shane tells that the hero dies. He breaks into an abandoned house to find and burn Chaba's body, but he does not make it, to which Som says, "What if we make it?" Now Som says that 𝐀𝐄𝐏's body will be in the same house, so they will go and burn her body. Now both of them set out to find that house, and on the way they see many such people whose eyes are removed. Then finally they reach the house and start searching for 𝐀𝐄𝐏's body. Shane sees an almirah there and together they move it. But Shane is surprised to see that there was no way behind it. Then Som says that everything may not be exactly like the movie. Then a fan falls there and Shane himself falls in a basement in an attempt to save Som. Then when he wakes up, he sees the same movie set and the rope on which 𝐀𝐄𝐏 was hanged and killed. Then he finds a photo there and suddenly someone starts banging the door loudly. Shane gets a little scared, but it is Som. She asks him to walk out of there. But then he hears the sound of Som and sees that Som is upstairs. Now Shane gets very confused seeing this, and the girl who was holding his hand was actually 𝐀𝐄𝐏. After this, we see Shane and Som in the hospital, where doctor asks them what both of them were doing in that house. Som says that they had gone to collect information for the news story of 𝐀𝐄𝐏's death. But the doctor tells them that 𝐀𝐄𝐏 is not dead, which they both are surprised to hear. Then the doctor tells that when the villagers hanged 𝐀𝐄𝐏, the police reached there at the right time and saved her life by sending her to the hospital. They then go to see 𝐀𝐄𝐏, who was a very old lady. Now they start thinking that if 𝐀𝐄𝐏 is alive, then who was she whom Shane saw? Just then, Shane looks at the poster of the movie and says that this is the woman he saw. This means the actress of that movie. After this, they break into the production house where that movie was made. Here Shane gets a camera, which on playing allows him to watch the behind the scenes of the film, in which the hanging scene of 𝐀𝐄𝐏 was about to be shot. He sees that the director was getting that scene done again and again, and 𝐁 was having trouble with it. The director did not like the shot, so his assistant goes and scolds 𝐁 and asks her to act properly. Now they shoot the scene again, and this time the director seemed happy with her performance. But only then did they notice that her safety wire was broken and she was actually suffocating. They all take her down quickly, but by now it was too late and 𝐁 was dead. Now Shane starts going somewhere and tells Som that if he doesn't come by tomorrow, then she should not go to the theater and watch the movie. He tells her that the scene in which 𝐀𝐄𝐏 dies in the movie is for real, and whoever watches that scene will die. Then he gives her watch and leaves from there. Now he goes to the theater, but there those people stop him to whom he had to give the copy of the movie. But then the crowd starts coming out and Shane escapes from there. Then he sets that reel on fire and starts leaving from there. But as soon as he comes out, they stop him again and he sees that it is repeating again, which happened just a few minutes ago. He goes back and takes out the reel and burns it again, and this time again the same thing happens with him. But this time he starts beating the man instead of running away, and after a while, he sees that he was beating 𝐀𝐄𝐏's cutout. Now he is unable to understand anything and suddenly he gets scared seeing 𝐀𝐄𝐏 there. Then he starts running away from there, and only then does the death scene of 𝐀𝐄𝐏 start playing on all the TV around him. Then he sees Som there and starts going after her. But then Som comes running from behind. She sees Shane going after someone and she also starts going after him. But the door closes. Now Shane comes to the theater looking for Som, where the movie Revengeful Spirit is going on and 𝐀𝐏's death scene is playing on the screen. And suddenly she disappears from the screen. Now Shane gets shocked seeing this, and we see 𝐀𝐏 moving towards him from behind him. Now as soon as he turns back, she attacks him and asks him if he really wants to see her die. Shane somehow manages to free himself and runs away. But 𝐀𝐏 comes from the front and tries to attack him. But he survives here too and starts running to save his life, and 𝐀𝐏 starts chasing him. Shane runs behind a door but notices that he has reached the room where 𝐀𝐏 had died, and the exit is now closed. Then Som also comes to that theater, and now she was seeing Shane on the screen, which makes her quite shocked. Shane finds the dead bodies of all the crew members of the movie in that house, in which there is also a corpse of Yod, seeing which Som becomes very sad. Now Shane was very scared and he could not understand anything. Then 𝐀𝐏 comes from behind and starts taking out his eyes, and seeing this, Som starts crying. After this we see that the show of that movie is houseful, and then comes the death scene of 𝐀𝐏 in which she dies, but suddenly raises her head and says, "Do you really want to see me die?" And the movie ends here. Thanks for watching!